What is one of your biggest fears right now? It's a heavy question, isn't it? Something that probably makes your stomach clench just a little bit. For a long time, if you asked me that, I would have given you a pretty standard answer. Spiders, heights, public speaking. You know the drill. The kind of fears that are easy to name and easy for others to understand. They're concrete. A spider has 8 legs. The ground is far away. An audience has a lot of eyes. Simple. But lately, my answer has changed. It's become something a lot less tangible and, frankly, a lot scarier. My biggest fear right now is stagnation. It's the fear of waking up one day, 5 or 10 years from now, and realizing that I'm in the exact same place I am today. The same job, the same mindset, the same limitations, the same person. It's the fear of my potential just evaporating. Of all the dreams and ambitions I have, all the books I want to read, the skills I want to learn, the person I want to become, just staying as ideas, like a ship that never leaves the harbor. This fear isn't about being unsuccessful in the traditional sense, like not making enough money or not getting a promotion. It's deeper than that. It's about personal growth. It's the dread of my curiosity fading, my passion fizzling out, and my world shrinking instead of expanding. The thought of getting too comfortable, too complacent, and letting the days, weeks, and years blur into a monotonous loop is genuinely terrifying. Think about it. When we're young, life is all about growth. We learn to walk, to talk, to read. We go through school, constantly learning new things, meeting new people, having new experiences. Every year, we are fundamentally different from the year before. But at some point, for many of us, that built-in momentum slows down. We graduate, we get a job, we settle into a routine, and that routine can be a comfortable, cozy blanket, but it can also be a cage. And that's the tricky part, isn't it? The things that lead to stagnation often feel good, they feel safe. It's easier to watch another episode on Netflix than to pick up that challenging book. It's easier to stick with the job you know, even if it doesn't inspire you, than to risk venturing into a new field. It's easier to say, "I'll do it tomorrow." But tomorrow becomes next week, then next month, and soon you've built a life on a foundation of tomorrows that never came. My fear is that I'll choose the easy path so many times that I forget how to walk the difficult one, the one that leads to growth, the one that's paved with discomfort, failure, and uncertainty, but ultimately leads to a richer, more fulfilling life. It's the fear of looking back and seeing a flat line instead of a dynamic, evolving journey. So, how do you fight a fear like this? It's not like you can just step on it like a spider. You can't just avoid high places. This fear lives inside your head. For me, the antidote has been conscious, intentional action. It means actively seeking out discomfort. It means forcing myself to be a beginner again and again. For example, I recently started trying to learn a new language. And let me tell you, it is humbling. I sound like a toddler. I make mistakes in every single sentence, and it's incredibly frustrating. The comfortable part of my brain screams, just stop. You're bad at this. Go do something you're good at. But I have to consciously tell that voice to be quiet. Because the struggle, the fumbling, the feeling of being incompetent, that's the feeling of growth. That's the feeling of not stagnating. It also means setting concrete goals that force me to stretch. Not just vague ideas like I want to be healthier, but specific actions like I will go for a run 3 times this week, even if it's cold and I don't want to. It means signing up for an online course on a topic I know nothing about. It means saying yes to a project that scares me because it's outside my current skill set. Each of these small acts of courage is a vote for the person I want to become. It's a push against the tide of complacency. It's a way of proving to myself that I am still in control of my own development, that my story is still being written, and that the protagonist is still evolving. Another huge part of this is curating my environment. You've heard the saying, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. I think that's incredibly true. If you surround yourself with people who are content with the status quo, who complain but never act, who discourage risk, it's only a matter of time before you adopt that same mindset. So I've made a real effort to connect with people who inspire me, people who are learning, building, creating, and pushing their own boundaries. Their energy is contagious. When you see a friend launching a new business or learning a new instrument, it doesn't make you feel bad about yourself. It makes you think, hey, maybe I can do something new too. It normalizes growth and makes it feel accessible. It also means changing my information diet. Instead of just scrolling through endless feeds of entertainment, I try to consume content that teaches me something. Podcasts, documentaries, books, articles, anything that introduces a new idea or a different perspective. It's about feeding my mind with things that will help it grow, not just things that will help it pass the time. But let's be real. It's not always easy. There are days when I'm tired. Days when the comfort of the familiar is all I want. Days when the fear of failure is louder than the fear of stagnation. And on those days, I try to be kind to myself. Progress isn't a straight line. It's okay to rest. The key is to not let a day of rest turn into a season of inertia. The fear of stagnation is really the fear of a life unled. The fear of reaching the end and wondering, what if? What if I had taken that chance? What if I had learned that skill? What if I had pushed myself just a little bit harder? I don't want to have those questions. I want to arrive at the end of my life, breathless and covered in scars, with a library of experiences and skills, knowing that I used my time to its fullest. This fear, as uncomfortable as it is, has become a powerful motivator. It's my internal compass, always pointing me towards growth. It's the whisper in my ear that says, don't get too comfortable. There's more to see. There's more to do. There's more to become. It forces me to be an active participant in my own life, not just a passive observer. And maybe that's the point of fear. Maybe our biggest fears aren't just obstacles. Maybe they are signposts pointing directly at the areas in our lives that need the most attention. They show us where our growth edges are, by facing them, by walking towards them instead of running away. We don't just conquer the fear. We conquer the limitations that the fear represents. We become bigger, stronger, and more capable than we were before. So, I ask you again, what is one of your biggest fears right now? And more importantly, what is it telling you? What growth is it pointing you towards? Don't let it paralyze you. Let it guide you. Let it be the fuel that drives you forward. Because on the other side of that fear is a version of you that you haven't even met yet. And I promise they are worth the journey. Thanks so much for spending this time with me today. If this resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. What's your biggest fear, and how are you facing it? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more conversations like this. See you in the next one.